सदाशिवसमारम्भाम् शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्ताम् वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। सर्ववेदान्तसिद्धान्तगोचरं तमगोचरं गोविन्दं परमानन्दं सद्गुरुं प्रणतोऽस्म्यहम्। Let us chant from number 21, Durvara Samsara. Durvara Samsaradavagnitaptam
वार संसार तवाग्नितप्तम्
दोधूयमानं दुरदृष्टवातैः
दोधूयमानं दुरदृष्टवातैः
भीतं प्रपन्नं परिपाहि मृत्योः
भीतं प्रपन्नं परिपाहि मृत्योः
शरण्यमन्यं यदहं न जाने
शरण्यमन्यं यदहं न जाने
शान्तामहान्तो निवसन्ति सन्तः
शान्ता महान्तो निवसन्ति सन्तः
वसन्तवल्लोकहितं चरन्तः
वसन्तवल्लोकहितं चरन्तः
तीर्णा स्वयं भीमभवार्णवं जनान्
तीर्णा स्वयं भीमभवार्जनान्
अहेतुनान्यानपि तारयन्तः
अहेतुनान्यानपि तारयन्तः
मा भैष्टविद्वन्
मा भैष्टविद्वन्
तव नास्त्यपायः
तव नास्त्यपायः
संसारसिन्धोः
संसारसिन्धोः
तरणेऽस्त्युपायः
तरणेऽस्त्युपायः
येनैव याता
येनैव याता
यतयोऽस्य पारम्
यतयोऽस्य पारम्
तमेव मार्गम्
तमेव मार्गम्
तव निर्दिशामि।
तव निर्दिशामि।
Once again, मा भैष्टविद्वंस्तव नास्त्यपायः
आभैष्टविद्वंस्तव नास्त्यपायः
संसारसिन्धोस्तरणेऽस्त्युपायः
संसारसिन्धोस्तरणेऽस्त्युपायः
येनैव याता यतयोऽस्य पारम्
येनैव याता यतयोऽस्य पारम्
तमेव मार्गं तव निर्दिशामि।
तमेव मार्गं तव निर्दिशामि।
So we've been studying Vivekachoodamani, and here Bhagavan Shankaracharya he gives an indication of the problem in the beginning. Then, so he says, Ato vicharah kartavyah. Then he says, therefore, you have to inquire into this problem because it's important. Moksha is important. Until now, whatever life I've led, presumably a dharmic life, is necessary but not sufficient for moksha. Not only not sufficient for moksha, dharmic life can never give me moksha. Chittasya shuddhaye karma natu vastupalabdhaye. Purpose of dharma, purpose of karma is to give me maturity. But after gaining that maturity, I must ask the question, what is moksha? And I must understand what the problem is. Only then that moksha is possible. Like that he had indicated long ago. And then he talked about adhikaritvam. This is Vivekachoodamani presents adhikaritvam very well. Often in all the texts we have studied, we talk about what is the qualification. Suppose you say, wait a minute, how dare you say qualification? I thought the Shastra was open to everybody. And you say only some people are qualified to study the Shastra. You know, education is open to everybody. Education, I mean the secular education is open to everybody. Everybody. But there also qualification is there. And from KG class onwards, qualifications are there. You must be a particular age. That's a qualification. And then you have to pass that KG, then first, second, third, fourth. Then high school has to be passed. Only then I can get into college. Education is available for everybody. But are you qualified for that education? That is the question they will ask. And so, the qualification always there. Whenever knowledge is the subject, suppose bicycling you want to do, okay, there also qualification is there. You must be somewhat physically fit enough to climb a bicycle, to Arodham, to climb that and sit on the bicycle, and then you must be somewhat free of that fear of falling. Everything is there. So qualification. But there at least age is not a requirement. So on that. Qualification is there for whatever you talk about. Definitely, if this is knowledge based, and because it's knowledge based, not karma based, karma koti shatairapi, he said. Karma will give me maturity, but it can't give me moksha. Moksha can only be obtained by knowledge. Why it can only be obtained by knowledge? Because it is praptasya praptihi. Because that moksha is already gained, and I don't know that I have gained the moksha. So when I have to convert I don't know to I know, then it's a question of gaining that knowledge. All that he described, and therefore he talked about this adhikaritvam, viveka, vairagya, shamadamani. And then he comes to this in the last few classes we saw this Durvara Samsara. Before that he gave the qualifications of a guru. Guru also has to have some qualifications. Shrotriyaha, Avrajinaha, Akamahataha. Big list was given. Brahmavittamaha, Brahmani Uparataha, Shantaha, etc. is given. So you can figure out now which person is a guru. To some extent, you can make an assessment based on this yoga. All right. So he says, no, student also should be somewhat qualified. Teacher, of course, must be qualified. Otherwise, the question of teaching doesn't exist. Then he presents the questions that the student is asking. Not questions, actually. It is a student presenting himself, herself. Durvara samsara davagnitaptam dodhuyamanam duradishtavataihi. We saw that. Says, I'm just whichever way I turn, there's no way out. I'm being just, I'm a victim of all the forces, people forces, thing forces. And then all the Navagraha forces, and like that, if he knows a little astrology, he will bring in Navagraha also. So all forces are, no, nobody is favoring me. And I figured out that nobody can help me also. And he comes, so Sharanya Manyam Yadaham na jane, like that he says. And then he praises the teacher in that sloka number 22, Shantaha Mahantaha. People who unconditionally help others because they have nothing to gain. That is very important. Ideally, they have nothing to gain because they have already gained what is to be gained. Then we are now to study this sloka number 23. Now that Guru is responding, so you can actually say on top of Shukracharya doesn't say Guru Uvacha. Guru Uvacha. That's what you should say here. Like in Bhagavad Gita, Shri Bhagavan Uvacha. Here you can say Guru Uvacha. Shukracharya doesn't say because he assumes that we can figure out. We can figure out. It's not needed like that. He must have thought. And so now let's look at this shloka. All right. See, when you have big shlokas like this, even if you know Sanskrit language, even if you know Sanskrit language, you have to search for the verb because it's not like English. Full stop. Then verb is somewhere towards the end of the sentence or in the middle somewhere. And then Rama went to the forest. Subject is the first word must be the subject in general. Went to the forest. Object, subject, predicate, verb is there in the middle. This formation we know immediately. But when you read a Sanskrit sentence like this, and then it's a long sentence, there is no full stop, nothing, no comma, no semicolon, no hyphen, nothing is there. And on top of that, in Sanskrit, you can say, went forest Sri Rama. Went to the forest Sri Rama. You can say that. That is also grammatically correct sentence. Okay, Google Doc cannot highlight that and put all the red dots underneath. Grammar and all they checks. Word and all that they check. That kind of checking is not possible in Sanskrit because this is a correct statement. So they are going to, these Google people are going to have a challenge trying to figure out mistakes in Sanskrit words. That's the next challenge. They are all taking up. It's not impossible to figure out because there is logic. If I have the logic in my mind, it must be programmable. So, but it's a challenge. Maybe it's easier also. I don't know. So look at this. Now the way we figure out these things is you have to look for the verb. Verb. Look at the verbs. You underline these verbs. Bhaishta. That is one verb. Next. So the words are separated like this. Ma bhaishta vidvan tava na asti apayaha. So many words are there in that first quarter. Next, samsara sindhoho tarane asti upayaha. So that asti is the verb there, and in the previous quarter also, na asti upayaha. The asti is the verb. So you got three verbs. Na asti upayaha. Apayaha. Then na asti upayaha. Then in the third quarter, you have a verb, yataha. Yataha. Then fourth quarter, you have nirdishami. Nirdishami. These verbs are the anchor in Sanskrit. You have to catch hold of the verb. Then you can slowly figure out next what is what, iti. Okay. So, look at the word here. Ma bhaishta. Bhaishta. Abhaishta is the actual word. Abhaishta. And somehow that R drops off due to some Sanskrit rules. So, ma bhaishta. Bhaishta. Bhaishta means ma bhaishta. May you not fear. May you not have any fear. Okay. Bhayam. Bhayam mastu. Bhayam mastu. Okay. Na bibehi. Bhayam ma bhoot. May you not encourage fear at all. Bhaya, that same root. Bhi is the root. Ma. Ma, I think you all know the word ma. Ma vidvishavahai. That same ma is here also. I don't think I explained the Sahana Vavatu to you, did I? Probably not. All right, now that it has come, why don't I explain that mantra? It's important to know for those of you who don't know. Sahana Vavatu. Saha now avatu. Avatu is the verb there, protect. May you protect. That is the meaning of avatu. So, may you protect. May he, Saha, may he indeed protect now. Saha now avatu. Now avatu. So now means both of us. That is the meaning. May he protect both of us. Both of us means what? Teacher and student. Because the two are chanting this one. So it is dual number in fact. May he protect both of us. Alright. Sahana bhavatu. Saha now bhunaktu. Bhunaktu. This bhunaktu means it is in the sense of nourishment. Sense of nourishment. Means in order to study, we have sat down to study. The teacher has sat down to teach, the student has come to learn, and therefore, in order for that, in order even for such a engagement to happen, there is lot that is going on, and may that lot happen. May that lot happen means what? May things be conducive for my study. If for me to pay attention for 5 minutes these days, it is so difficult. And we are saying we have to pay attention for 45 minutes in the colleges and 1 hour, and now we are stretching it for 1 hour 15 minutes. You can imagine. You can imagine we are violating all the rules. The rule is that people can have maximum attention span is 50 minutes or something maximum like that. Some research must have been done. Now we are violating it left and right. 1 hour 15 minutes. You know, it's now I can manage because I got used to all this. But sometimes I wonder how you all manage all these things. And sometimes I see all this I see, and then I have to just pray to Shiva is there right in front of me. So I tell him, wake that guy up, let him yawn, let him get it out of his system, and let him wake up after that. That's what I say. And so Sahana Bhavatu, Sahanau Bhunatu. Hey, make the things conducive for this person. Let the family situation be proper. And everything should be more or less okay. Otherwise, the mind is filled with all kinds of problems. And so, all that you can fill up the blanks. Sahanau Bhunaktu. Now Bhunaktu. Now also both of us. Teacher also should have a good frame of mind. Otherwise, constantly looking at notes and I forgot this, I forgot that, and giving wrong meanings and all that. It's no use. All right. Sahanau bhunaktu. Saha viryam karavavahai. Again, viryam. Viryam means may we be well prepared for this study. Now coming back to the study. Viryam means we must be enthusiastic and maybe approach this subject enthusiastically. Because the teacher also is doing the job, and so let me pick it up because this is a subject matter that we have to slowly pick up, and we have to nourish our own interest. Every day the interest should increase because there are no practicals here. Like they say show and tell, something like that. Here show tell, something they say for the children to grasp the subject matter. You have to have a lab work and all that. What lab work is there for this course? There's no lab work. Our family is our lab work, really speaking. Really speaking. But to understand that, it will take some time. And so, anyway, so Sah Viryam Karavavahai Tejasvi Navadhitam Astu. Tejasvi now Avadhitam Astu. Astu, may it be, may what be. May our Avadhitam, our study, our Patanam Patanam, may our study be Tejasvi. Tejasvi means may it be brilliant. May it leave nothing to be desired. You can just walk away from the class saying, yes, I got it. I am crystal clear about it. That is the kind of knowledge we are looking for. Because knowledge always requires clarity. In karma, there is no such thing called perfection. Look at that. That's why perfection, they say, be careful. Don't you do things well, properly, efficiently, and all, but don't seek perfection. In karma, perfection is not possible. And so people who are stuck with being perfect and all that, they get into all kinds of anxiety problems. And so perfection not possible. But when it comes to knowledge, you can say I know it clearly, or you can say I still have a lot of doubts. So Tejasvi now avadhita mastu ma vidvishavahaihi. The chemistry between the teacher and students is critical for study to happen. Okay, and in school, in any class, all of you educators know, and if you're not educators, also you know, you're absorbing things from somebody, a student, and the mind must be free. The shraddha must be complete. I'm here now, and I expect the next hour to be productive, and I trust the person right in front of me. That 100% trust is there. The minute you sign up for a workshop, 3-day workshop somewhere, you automatically trust the organization that is offering the course. Then some person is going to come and conduct the workshop. All this you trust. 100% trust. Otherwise, you can't pay the money. How many dollars you're going to pay for all these courses? How many rupees? And so, without that trust, you can't do all these things. So that, and then he says here, Ma vidvisha vahai, may we not unnecessarily doubt each other. May we not engage in unproductive judgments and conversations. Judgments. Suppose the teacher behaves in a particular way. Teacher is favoring some people in class means what? That immediately the shraddha will go down. The students will think, oh, he favors such people. She favors that such people. Means gone. Then shraddha is gone. Even though the teacher is good, even though the student is qualified, still without shraddha, the teaching won't take place because there is a mental block. Therefore, ma, there he says, ma, may we not unnecessarily argue with each other. Ma, never, he says, because the chemistry is critical. Because anyway, satsang is there, Q&A is there, and so there is always a time to ask questions and all that. That's the beauty of this tradition. The teacher might say, I don't know, I'll find out. Teacher should be honest. Should be honest. Otherwise, don't work. So, ma vidvishavahai. Never may such a situation never arise between teachers and students. Ma, never. That ma is there here. Ma bhaishta. May you not have any fear. Okay, that's what Guru is telling the student. And so, in a way, they're saying, okay, easing that person, relax. Because the person is talking about Durvara, Samsara, Davagni, Taptam, and I have nowhere to go, etc. You are Sharanyam, Anyam, Yadaham na Jani, he had said. And so, say, okay, you've come to the right place and you don't have to have any fear. Like that, the teacher is addressing the student. And he says, look at this. Ma bhaishta vidvan. That word is vidvan, not vidwan. Don't think it is a spelling mistake. It's not a spelling mistake. It is vidvan. Because vidwan, we all know the word vidwan. Vetiti vidwan. The one who knows whatever is to be known is a vidwan. Vidwan. Here, addressing a vidwan. Sambodhana prathama. Vidvan. Vidvan. Hey vidvan. Ma ishta. That's what Shankara is saying here. Hey vidwan. Hey vidwan. And now you are wondering, wait a minute. Teacher is a vidwan, supposed to be a vidwan. Okay. And the teacher is addressing a student as a vidwan. That's very strange, Very strange it is. You can't, they are very unlikely. Such a situation is not possible. Because after all, you just come now, you've just entered the ashram and you're saying, you've just come, I have a problem. So a person with problems, you don't address them as vidwan, at least not in this context. But here, vidwan. Yeah, it's a beautiful statement by a teacher. Teacher is saying, I've heard you. I've heard everything you've said. You have analyzed the problem quite well. You've said, you've understood that this karma, earlier he said, चित्तस्य शुद्धये कर्म न tu vastupalabdhaye. Karma can only give me chitta shuddhi, maturity, emotional maturity, and spiritual maturity, but not jnanam itself. Only jnanam can solve the problem. Ato vichara kartavyaha. All that you must have understood, and you have that adhikaritvam. All those things you have, viveka, vairagya, etc. Therefore, by that token, you are a vidwan. You are a vidwan with respect to the things you ought to know before you enter this ashram. You are supposed to know all that, and that much you know. That itself is not an ordinary thing. Therefore, you are a vidwan. And our Chandrasekhara Bharati Mahaswamiji says, Vivekadikam sampadya gurunam vina dukkataranam na bhavati iti prapta. Vivekadikam, all this Viveka, Vairagya, etc., this Adhikaritvam, okay, Sampadya, you've gained all that. And you understood that you need somebody who you can solve this puzzle for you. Gurunam vina dukkha taranam na bhavati. Hey, this ocean of dukkha cannot be crossed without somebody who has herself crossed it. Like that you have understood. Like that he's saying. Jnatavyam janishe. Whatever is to be known by you, you already know. The prerequisites, you already know. So that the Guru is indicating by addressing the student by the word Vidwan or Vidwan. Because now the person is going to be ready, because it's going to be a lot of contradictions will be there now. What contradictions will be there? I am a mortal. Shastram is going to say I am immortal. These are not ordinary contradictions. These are all unbelievable contradictions, crazy contradictions. It comes under the category of crazy one. Okay, these kinds of categories. Bhagavad Gita, if is going to learn, Ya Nisha Sarva Bhutanam Tasyam Jagati Sanyami Yasyam Jagrati Bhutani Sa Nisha Pashyato Mune. And at least you thought Krishna will clarify all my problems. And Krishna says things like, hey, the state where people think it is night, the wise people say it is daytime. The state where people are awake, wise people say it is darkness. Like this, if you talk, how am I going to figure out this puzzle? Karmanya karma yav paschet, akarmani cha karma yaha. Hey, the one who sees inaction in action and action in inaction is a wise person. Now, I was better before I entered the ashram. Now I'm getting more confused. Correct? That's how it's going to be. But a Vidwan is able to has the bearing. He is patient. Patience is there, and yeah, it's let me give the benefit of doubt to the teacher. Benefit of doubt. Matstani sarva bhutani nacha ham teshva vastitaha nacha matstani bhutani. Matstani sarva bhutani. All beings are in me. Then next word nacha mastani bhutani. No, nobody is in me. Like this contradictory statement. How are you going to figure out? No, you have the capacity to figure it out, and so you are a vidwan. You are a vidwan. Like that is. He said here also the first shloka. What was it? Sarva Vedanta Siddhanta Gocharam Tama Gocharam. Gocharam and Agocharam. Gocharam means what? Objectifiable. Agocharam, not accessible, not objectifiable. One shloka itself, two contradictions are there right here. First shloka of this Vivekachoodamani. Here he is saying Sarva Vedanta Siddhanta Gocharam Tam Agocharam. Hey, this particular thing we are going to talk about is Atma, which is Agocharam. which is not accessible to my sense organs and mind. Why? Because they are excellent in studying the world, but not studying oneself. Agocharam. But then it is Gocharam. What do you mean it is Gocharam? You just said it is Agocharam. How can you go back to Gocharam? Yeah, Sarva Vedanta Siddhanta Gocharam. Hey, it is accessible for Vedanta Shastram. Atma Vidya Shastram, Brahma Vidya Shastram only it is accessible. That's what he said. Anyway, therefore, you are a Vidwan, like that he said. Tava Nasti Apayaha. The next quarter, Upayaha. Nice rhyming also. In this case, Shankaracharya is rhyming. So, Tava Apayaha na asti. Apayaha means tragedy. Tragedy, danger, all that is called Apayaha. So sometimes they say apaya mrityuhu. Apaya mrityu means a death due to an accident, not a kind of a normal death. So death due to an accident, apaya mrityu. Like that here is saying, no danger. There is apaya is not there. The tragedy is not there for you. Tava nasti nasti, not there for you. And nasti apaya. So therefore, by then the student should be relaxing. Should be relaxed. First step is to relax. Mind must be available. And so that is what that job is what the guru is doing here. Samsara Sindhoho Tarane Asti Upaya. Asti is the verb we said. Yeah, Asti. There is an upaya. Upaya Asti. There is a solution. Upaya means solution. उपाय है इस जो डायलमा को आपने सुनाया हमने सुना एंड उस धर्म संकट और वॉट एवर यू वांट टू कॉल इट उसको उपाय है उसका उपाय है देयर इज अ सॉल्यूशन फॉर दैट एंड व्हाट डिड यू टेल मी इट वाज संसार सिंधोः तरणे दिस संसार सागर crossing this samsara sagar, Sindhu is ocean. And so, this Bhavarnavam, these words he had used, Shakracharya. So, Bhavarnavasya Tarane, with respect to crossing this ocean of samsara, that's a typical phrase that is used in our Shastram, because that is what it is finally. And so, Asti Upayaha. So, giving an assurance. The teacher is giving an assurance to the student. Yes, there is a way out of this difficulty that you have expressed. Okay? You have expressed it nicely. And that assurance I'll give you that the solution is there. All right. Then what? Yenaiva yata yatayaha asya param. Yatayaha. Yata. Yata. People who have gone, people who have taken, people who have gone, who have traversed. That's a good word. People who have traversed. Okay, by this path. Ena means by this path. Which path? I'm going to talk to you about that. By this journey. Yena margena. Okay, yena patha. Okay, yena margena. Yataha. People who have traversed this path. Yatayaha. Those are the people. Those people are called Yatayaha. Yatayaha. Yatna, prayatnam is there. Yatnam means effort. So Yatayaha. Yatna Shilaha. Those who have put in the effort to understand themselves, understand the problem, and therefore sought the solution. Without understanding the problem, you can't seek a solution. Necessity is the mother of invention, they say. So that's why understanding the problem is a very important part of solving the problem. And so in companies, they say SWOT analysis: strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. Okay, I've not done that. I was not in that field. But there are people who do that. People who are leaders in companies. They have to, in order for the company to move in the right direction, they must have some strengths, obviously. What are our strengths? What is it that we are good at? Okay, that is, let's make a list of all that. Can be values, can be people, it can be so many things, soft and hard. All right, strengths. Then weaknesses. What are our weaknesses? Understanding our own, all the Achilles heels and all that is very important, so that we can work on it. So for that, I need to understand what my weakness is. Only then I can improve myself. And so strength, weaknesses, opportunities. Okay, these are all old phraseology. Today it must all be new, I think. I think I'm just so old that some of you are wondering, oh, this guy is out of touch and all that. That's fine, but just think of the idea, that's all. Opportunities. What are the opportunities in the market? Business opportunity, And then threats. Because you're not the only manufacturer. There's so many people in your business. And so you need to understand what are the threats. So like that here also, there are these people. You have understood the problem well. You have come to the right place. And what I'm going to tell you is not something I've cooked up. I'm not going to cook up anything right now. Especially for you. And especially for you, thing is not there here. Yatayaha. The people have gone through this journey. Many people. Many people. Yatayaha. They are called yatis. And asya param yataha. Asya. Asya means this. Param. Param means they have crossed over. Asya means this, of what? Samsara Sindhoho Param. जो पार किया, जो संसार सागर का पार जो लोगों ने किया है, okay? उस मार्ग को मैं बताऊंगा. That's that same journey, that same path I'm going to tell you. Like that, he says, means that's the student will now have the confidence. Yeah, this is not a new problem, for at least for the guru it is not a new problem. And even for the shishya, being an adhikari, the shishya also knows this is a common problem. Everybody has this problem. Shishya also is prepared for that. And yatayaha, if you hear, you must immediately raise your hand and say, I know this. Why you should say, I know it?
Yatnashila.
Where did we see this word? Yatayaha.
Yatnashila.
Yatnashila, correct. That is the meaning. But
Yataya Samshita Vrata comes in Bhagavad Gita.
Yatayaha Samshita Vrataha in Bhagavad Gita. And then more recently,
Kaivalya.
Kaivalya. And Kaivalya is a good start. What in Kaivalya? Vedanta Vijnana Sunischitartha Sannyasa Yogat Yataya Shuddha Sattva Te Brahma Loke To Paranta Kale Paramrita Parimuchanti Sarve. Like that we saw. Yataya there also. All right. So these words, sooner or later, we encounter similar words. Tameva margam tava nirdishami. Nirdishami. Dikhata hu. I will show you. I will teach you. Swamiji here says, Chandrasekhara Bharati Mahaswami says, Upadishami. Show me here in this case, not like showing a flashlight and torchlight and saying, oh, come on, go. Not like that. Yeah, that flashlight is a light of knowledge that I'm going to teach you. Show you means here teach you. Upadishami. Tameva marga. That, see, marga here is path, that particular way. I'll show you that way. And actually it's translated as path. But when you say path, then immediately we know there are many paths to any destination. Destination is there and many paths are there, many ways to get to that destination. Many routes are there, and also each route you can go by walk, can go by bicycle, can go by another 2-wheelers, 3-wheelers, 4-wheelers. In India, we have a lot of options. In America, you don't have that many options. Okay, we have many options. Three-wheelers are also there. Okay, if you think 2 or 4 like that, no, you should use some odd numbers also. Unicycles, I don't see in Coimbatore, but you have all these options. So many options are there. In karma, many options will be there. Karma means action. How should I do something? If the question is asked, then many options are there. Do. That doing means action, karma. What are the things I should do? Okay, then there are, so you can do it this way, you can do it that way or that way. Based on your context, your situation, you can decide what is best for you. You may be good at something, you can do it. But here, because it is jnanam, how many ways I can get a college degree? Well, let's see where the options are. Which college you want to go, option is there. All right. But once you enter the college, then pretty much the curriculum is fixed. Some choices there here and there. You can take these what do you call it? Optional courses, electives. They say, yeah, electives. These are all there. But you have to sit and study. You have to go to the classroom, sit and study. There's no other way. There's no other escape. You have to study. So studying is the only way. And so when it comes to knowledge, there's really only one way, which is to gain that knowledge. You at best you can say, I can. Is it online class or is it on-site class? Like that you can ask, but still, finally, knowledge has to be gained. And so this margam, we carefully translate that. Even though we say path and all that, there's only one path, really speaking. is to know what is to be known, and I must know that. I must know what Brahma Satyam Jagan Mithya Jivo Brahmaiva Naparaha. That's a famous statement. Brahma Satyam means what? There is only one thing that is real, absolutely real. Then what about all the things I know is also real? My life is real, my name, I am real, my children are real, my parents are real, my job is real, everything is real. Yeah, everything is real. Correct. There is something more real than all of that. So, Brahma Satyam, Jagan Mithya. Everything you just told me, it is Mithya. Mithya is also real only, but temporarily real, not absolutely real. Okay. As though real, as though real, which is also important. Real, I need that as though real water in order to quench my as though real thirst. Okay, all that is very useful. And so that knowledge I have to gain. Brahma Satyam Jagan Mithya. And why I should gain knowledge of Brahman? Okay, good question. That Brahma is what? Jivo Brahmaiva Naparaha. You are that Brahman, my dear friend. You. This is about you. This is Aham Vidya. It is. This Vidya is only Vidya which is talking all the time about myself. That's why we feel so good about this. Shastra is always talking about me. Nobody else, just me. That's why we like it very much. No other topic. No other topic. And so, Nirdishami, Sameva, Sameva Margam. That same Margam, which all these Yatnashilaha, these Yatayaha, these people before us have taken, that same journey, I'm going to tell you. That same path of knowledge, I'm going to tell you, like that he said. Okay, okay. So I was looking to see if Swamiji's words anything here or there. Let's translate the shloka. O learned one, do not be afraid. O Vidwan, do not be afraid. Full stop. There is no more danger for you. There is no more danger for you. Full stop. There is a means for crossing. There is a means for crossing the ocean of samsara. There is a means for crossing the ocean of samsara. Full stop. I will show you the same way I will show you the same way by which or by which alone people of right effort, people of right effort have gone to the other shore. People of right effort have gone to the other shore of this ocean. Of this, in fact, it is of this, within brackets, ocean of samsara, you can say. Okay, let me read this again. O learned one, do not be afraid. There is no more danger for you. There is a means for crossing the ocean of samsara. I will show you the same way by which alone people of right effort have gone to the other shore of this ocean of samsara. Okay. Now let's look at that shloka that I indicated in the WhatsApp, right? That is not there in the original abridged printed shloka list. Okay. Once you pick that out, that shloka starts with Shraddha Bhakti Dhyana Yoga. Like I says. Everybody got it? Yeah. Shraddha Bhakti Dhyana Yogan Momokshaha. Unmute yourself.
श्रद्धा भक्ति ध्यान योगान मुमुक्षा
Sorry. Mumukshoho it is, okay? Shraddha Bhakti Dhyana Yogan Mumukshoho.
श्रद्धा भक्ति ध्यान योगान मुमुक्षोः
Mukter Hetun Vakti Sakshat Shruterghi.
मुक्तेर हेतु व्यक्ति साक्षात् श्रुतेः
Yova Yeteshveva
यो वा एतेष्वेव
Tishthatyamushya
तिष्ठत्यमुष्य
Moksho Vidya Kalpitat
मोक्षो विद्याकल्पितात्
Deha Bandhat.
देहबन्धात्
Once again. Shraddha Bhakti Dhyana Yogan Mumukshoho.
श्रद्धा भक्ति ध्यान योगान मुमुक्षोः
Mukter Hetun Vakti Sakshat Shruterghi.
मुक्ते हेतुन व्यक्ति साक्षात् श्रुतेः
Yova Eteshveva Tishthatyamushya.
यो वा एतेष्वेव तिष्ठत्यमुष्य
Moksho Vidya Kalpitat Deha Bandhat.
मोक्षो विद्यात् कल्पितात् देहबन्धात्
Yeah, bit of a tongue twister. But I think you all can guess why I picked this shloka, correct? No secret here. There's no secret. So, We've been studying this recently, only we saw this in Kaivalya Upanishad. So Shankaracharya is using that, taking from Kaivalya. So here, the Guru is telling what are those, in summary, he's telling what are those key things that are required, the characteristics of that path that he talked about. Okay, Margaha. And he says Shraddha Bhakti Dhyana Yogat. Kaivalya Shraddha Bhakti Dhyana Yogat Avaihi. Like that Brahmaji had told who?
Ashwalayana.
Ashwalayana. Correct. Brahmaji had told Ashwalayana. Ashwalayana is the student there. So he said Shraddha Bhakti Dhyana Yogat Avaihi. Shraddha, critical. In any knowledge, Shraddha is critical. That's why children can quickly learn stuff when they go to school. They don't worry about all this, they don't make judgments of the teacher. They don't make judgments at all. Oh, she doesn't have a wrong accent and she is not wearing a proper dress. He is doing like this. All these ideas they don't have at all. That's it. They just come home fully loaded and excited. Okay? Why? Because Shraddha is there. Shraddha is there. Otherwise, we'll be distracted by all these things that are, these unnecessary things are there. So, Shraddha, Bhakti, Ishvara is there here. Ishvara is there, Bhakti is there. This is very unique. In all other things, college, this and that, etc., with or without Bhakti, somehow we got degrees. Okay? And so, the Bhakti is not a prerequisite. But here, Bhakti is a prerequisite. Why? Because we are talking about this I am mortal is going to be said as wrong. I am immortal is going to be the statement that are going to be made. And either you say this is absolutely crazy, this knowledge is not for me, I am in the wrong class. You can say that. Or you can say, Yenaiva Yata Yatayasya Param. A lot of people have gone through this journey and it seems logical. Seems logical. Rational. Advaita Vedanta is only rational. Really, I'm telling you, nowhere else you will get this kind of rationality. So, therefore, bhakti is there. So, I must connect with Bhagavan. Bhagavan must be part of my life. Because eventually, Krishna also says in the Bhagavad Gita, Kshetrajnan chapi mam vidhi sarva kshetreshu bharata. Hey, I am the one who is there imbuing everything in this universe. And you are me. That means what? So, Shraddha Bhakti Dhyana Yogat. Dhyana means here Jnanam. Jnanam is important. Jnanam. Dhyanam also we can include. Meditation means what? What do you meditate on? What do you meditate on? You meditate on Ishvara, Bhagavan. This is the object of meditation for us. If I meditate on something other than the Ishvara, then it is called worrying. Worrying is also constantly thinking about the same thing. We don't call it meditation, we call it worrying. And so if you replace that object with Ishvara, then it becomes Dhyanam. Alright. So Dhyana Yogat Mumukshoho Muktehe Hetun. So Mukti, of that Mukti, for that Mumukshu wants moksha. And Hetun, what is the cause for this moksha? हेतु क्या है इसका, इस मोक्ष का हेतु क्या है? And साक्षात श्रुतेर्गीहि, the reason for that moksha is the Shraddha Bhakti Dhyana Yoga. And it is not something that I am saying Shrutergihi. Those are the words of the Shruti. Okay, words of the Shruti. Sakshat. Literally the words of the Shruti. Why? Because Kaivalya Upanishad, Shraddha Bhakti Dhyana Yogat Avaihi. Brahmaji had said that. Therefore, this Sakshat, whatever the Shruti has said, I am also telling you, like that the teacher is saying. यो वा एतेषु एव तिष्ठति अमुष्य तिष्ठति. asya. The one eteshu tishtati, one who is ready for this Shraddha, Bhakti and Dhyana. Means one who is ready for this journey. One who has the qualifications. Shraddha is already there. Because Shamadamadi, Shraddha is included. Bhakti is there. But everything is a little bit half baked. Okay, that's okay. That's how all of us are. We all have entered through the back door. Somehow we heard about it, and some friend pulled me to say, "Come, Swamiji ko sunenge aaj." Swamiji ko sunenge aaj. Really? Yeah, but his friend is calling means you can't say no also. Okay, chalenge. So you just go. That's why friends are good sometimes. And so we ended up here. And then what? So Ada hai sab. And so, okay, Shraddha and Bhakti, little bit Shraddha Bhakti is good. Then after listening to this, Shraddha and Bhakti will just grow, will grow. And so, Eteshu eva tishtati, the one who stays put in this journey. Amushya means asya, for that person, asya purushasya, amushya purushasya, yahava. Then mokshaha avidya kalpitat dehabandhat. Moksha. Then moksha bhavati, sambhavati, you can say. Moksha sambhavati. Then moksha will happen. Moksha from what? From this bondage. Deha bandhat. Like that. We're going to see more about it later. Deha bandhat. From this bondage, starting from this body onwards, everything is a cause for bondage. Everything is a symptom of that bondage. And so, that bandha. How did that come about? Avidya kalpitat bandhat. It's come about by ignorance. By ignorance of who I am. Which also we are going to talk about in the next sloka. But so he's saying that Shruti, the same Shruti, Shraddha Bhakti Dhyana Yogat, Mokshaha Sambhavati, like that. He's introducing in that shloka. So when I was reading all the shlokas, I said, wait a minute, this is something at least we should know that is there. Such a shloka. And if you want to know the translation of this, let me give that to you. Shraddha, Bhakti, and knowledge hyphen. These are declared by the Shruti, declared by the Shruti to be the seekers. These are declared by the scriptures to be the seekers' direct means of liberation. Or direct means of moksha, you can say. Full stop. To him who abides by them, or to the one who abides by them, comes liberation. Comes liberation. Which has been caused by ignorance. Okay, let me repeat that.
Liberation from bondage.
Yeah.
The bondage is caused by ignorance. Clear?
Yeah, let me repeat that. Shraddha, Bhakti, and knowledge dash. These are declared by the scriptures or by the Shruti to be the seeker's direct means of liberation. Full stop. To the one who abides by them comes liberation from that bondage. Liberation from that bondage. Bondage. I missed this one. Liberation from that bondage of body. Bondage of body. Deha bandhat. Which has been caused by ignorance. Did I get that right? Yeah. Because Deha bandhat is there. So from that bondage of quote unquote body, which has been forged by or which has been caused by ignorance. Good. So we have 10 more minutes here. Now that I think about it, in the at Purdue University, our classes used to be, we used to have two kinds of classes. I think it's true even today. So thrice a week classes are there. Each is 50 minutes. Or twice a week classes are there. And they're all 1 hour and 15 minutes, because 2.5 hours a week. So I thought I was pushing it, but I am not. But I think we do have our forefathers have set examples. So, all right. Next shloka.
My brother's son
Ajnana
is also
Yoga.
from Purdue.
Huh?
My brother's son also studied in Purdue.
Okay. All right. Okay, Hemaji, unmute yourself. Ajnana Yogat. Okay, Hemaji, go ahead and unmute yourself, please.
Ajnana-yogat
Paramatmanastava
Paramatmanastava
Hyanatma Bandhaha
Hyanatma-bandhaha
Tata Eva Samsrutihi
Tatayeva samsrutihi
Tayor Vivekodita
Tayor vivekodita
Bodhavannihi
bodhavanhihi
Ajnanakarjam
Ajnanakadyam
Pradahet Samulam.
Pradahet samulam
Once again, Ajnana Yogat Paramatmanastava
Ajnana-yogat Paramatmanastava
Hyanatma Bandhastata Eva Samsrutihi
Hyanatma-bandhastatayeva samsrutihi
Tayor Vivekodita Bodhavannihi
Tayor-vivekodita bodhavanhihi
Ajnanakaryam Pradahet Samulam.
Ajnana-kadyam pradahet samulam. Dhanyavada,
Yeah.
Guruji.
So this is an important shloka because it lays the foundation for everything that is going to come. Okay. So it's worth even memorizing this shloka. Yeah, just keep it in front of you every day if you want to memorize. See, memory, we have to keep exercising our memory periodically. It's always good. Um, neurons and all, we are sometimes passively watching stuff on WhatsApp and this and that. And so we need a system to counter that, and which is to memorize and chant shlokas. And so these things are very good exercises to make a list of all important shlokas in Bhagavad Gita and in other texts or entire texts, and just memorize it. Chant it every day, and in time it will become part of your memory. All right. Here he's telling the gist of what's going to happen in this text. Okay. What is the nature of the problem? Everything is said in this shloka. So the cause for this samsara, you only used, hey Vidwan, you only used the word samsara, bhavarnavam, everything, you use those words. And so that cause for that, I'm going to tell you. Okay. The cause is listed here. And therefore, once the cause is known, how to remove samsara? If I remove the cause of samsara, then its effect will be removed. Whatever is the cause, if the bacteria is the cause for the temperature, fever, and all these things, then if I remove the bacteria, then the fever also will go away. This is the model. Everywhere, this is the model. Medicine, this is the model. And so, that is the model we are going to use. He's going to say what that is. Okay. So, that means what? The first line, which is talking about the cause of the problem, is a diagnosis. First line is representing diagnosis of the disease, if you want to say. Rogaha. Bhava rogaha. Diagnosis. First, you have to do the diagnosis. Then the next half is the solution. Once I understand, once I've diagnosed the problem, I've done all the lab tests and all that, I've got all the results with me, and I looked at you, and the patient is looked at, then the doctor is ready to present a solution. That solution is there in the second half of the shloka. All right. So, this being a critical shloka, it's worth understanding, reviewing what this Advaita Vedanta itself is. Every religion offers this moksha by their own words they have. And the most popular view is that I must be devoted to a particular God. And then the devotion has a result. It has a benefit. Prayojanam is there. And what is the prayojanam? After I die, I will no longer have this kind of a life where I am now a victim of so many things. And I am this samsara, devagni, taptam. I am roasted by this life. And then what happens? God will take me and then He will take care of me forever. And that place is heaven. Their heaven. That particular religion's heaven. This is what the majority of the religions offer. Our Hindu Sanatana Dharma also offers it. So we are no exception to that. This is it. And so since it depends on where we are born. If you are born to Christian parents, we talk about Christian God and Christian heaven. If I am born to some other religion, that religion takes over. Sanatana Dharma, a little different. Same thing, same idea is there, but then now you have different gods also. And Shiva is there, Vishnu is there, and even Vishnu also, avatars are there. Like this, it's huge. It becomes a huge thing. Devi means what Devi you are talking about? Kanika Parameshwari is there, and then Saraswati and Durga and Parvati are there. Like this goes on and on. Lakshmi is there, and then Lakshmi also, Ashtalakshmi they say, and then this is very confusing, You have confused me now. A Hindu must be confused. In fact, a guy who wants to convert a Hindu, this is the logic he uses. You must be confused, he says. And he's trying to convince me also that I'm confused. Because he says, look. He says, you have a problem, you are worshipping. You are worshipping Ganesha. Hey Bhagavan Ganesh, please help me, protect me from this disease I have. Then Ganesh started coming, gada, with his pot belly, he's walking like this. And then suddenly, hey Shiva, Namah Shivaya, you said. Then Ganesha is saying, oh, he's calling my father. It's not for me. So he goes back. And so father is ready. Father is ready, and then he says, Muruga. It is in Tamil, he will say Muruga. Then gone. Father says, no, it's my son. So it won't be appropriate if I knock on his door. And so in this process, this guy will be suffering all the time. And so, how you are going to, which God is going to help you? Please tell me. Hindu will not have an answer to this. He will say, yeah, I don't know. You're right. It's not that. This is how they are converting all of us, left and right. And whatever little dharma we have, it's all we are just trying hard to keep it with us. But 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 we have an answer to that. What we will say is, but for to give this answer, you have to be really sharp. You have to be really sharp. Okay, you can't say Brahman ek hai and all. You can't say all this. It won't work. Brahman ek hai and all. Keep it to yourself. Nirgunam Brahma can't do anything. Suppose he says, then what will you do? Nirgunam Brahma, Kartirtvam Nasti. You want a Karta, you're asking for a Karta, and how can you say Nirgunam Brahma? Suppose he says, then I'm finished. He will use my Vedanta and finish me off. And so, yes, Swamiji's answer is, hey, wait, come. You're saying that I'll be confused because none of my gods will protect me? Is that what you're saying? Yeah, come. I'll tell you what it is. A. There is somebody giving birth. In America, in New York, a lady is giving birth in a hospital. She says, oh, Jesus, protect me. Good. You are happy with that, no? She's calling Jesus. Jesus is going to help that woman. And then in South Africa and Johannesburg, somebody met with an accident. And this man is saying, oh, Jesus, protect me. At the same time in Coimbatore, okay, there is a boy who's writing an exam, he's staring at the exam paper and says, oh, Jesus, you only have to help me solve this paper. Tell me, will your Jesus go to New York or Johannesburg or come to Coimbatore? This is a long distance, 10,000 miles apart, okay, these things are. Where will your Jesus go? Tell me. Then only this guy is, oh man, this guy is, I don't want to waste my time on this guy. It's of no use. I can do, Bakra is all out waiting there, so I'll rather go there. So, only Advaita Vedanta says, all this you keep aside. This whole idea of going to heaven, heaven is there. We agree with heaven. Heaven is very much there. And Vaikuntha is there, Kailasa is there. Any other heavens you can think of, let it be there. They're all there. Vedanta doesn't negate all that. It only says everything is mithya. Everything is part of Jagat. Brahma Satyam Jagan Mithya. Mithya also follows its own rules and regulations. Okay. Cooking, if I have to do, I have to put the right amount of salts, right amount of time. I have to cook the dal. Otherwise, dal will be solid, semi-cooked, and that won't work. That has only ruined my health. And so everything, niyama is there, everything has to be followed. Everything has to be followed. And so, therefore, that is all mithya. It's Brahma Satyam. That Satyam has to be understood, and Satyam is me. I am that Satyam. That is a non-traveler. I am a non-traveler. You think you are ready, making yourself ready for travel to heaven. Hey, travel to heaven, let it be, but that can't be moksha because that moksha you're talking about is impermanent. Anityam. You can call it moksha, but it is also impermanent. Permanence cannot be created. It has to be my nature. Otherwise, it is not possible. Look at that. Permanence has to be my nature. Otherwise, I can't gain permanence. This living in heaven ever after, it's all good in movies, but be outside then it's not possible. That is the idea here. And that background will continue with that background and then come back next week to continue with this shloka, Ajnana Yoga. आपदामपहर्तारं दातारं सर्वसम्पदां लोकाभिरामं श्रीरामं भूयो भूयो नमाम्यहम् काले वर्षतु पर्जन्यः पृथिवी सस्यशालिनी देशोऽयं क्षोभरहितः ब्राह्मणाः सन्तु निर्भयाः ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ॐ शान्तिः 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 हरिः ॐ Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.